What's going on, guys? Today we're making Borщ, very traditional Russian beet soup. I got a simple recipe, healthy recipe for you guys. The only thing from the can that I'm using is tomato paste. Everything else is freshly grown that you can go to your closest market and get. Something to say about this recipe, it's time consuming, but if you guys take your time, develop the flavors, put the right ingredients in there, this soup is going to be one of the best soups that you ever try. So let's get through the ingredients and let's get this cooking. Where are the ingredients at? Alright, so as far as the ingredients today, we have 2 pounds of ribs, 2 pounds of beef, beets, 4 heads, medium size, 1 smaller one, cabbage, 2 carrots, 3 tomatoes, 5 medium-sized potatoes. I usually use yellow ones. It's I don't know, tend to be the best flavor for me, in my opinion. 2 onions, garlic, chives. I usually use onions and dill. The only thing that comes from the can in this recipe is tomato paste, and I usually recommend to do 100% natural or organic one. Makes all the difference. Pepper, bay leaves, olive oil, salt, oregano. Today I'm going to be using this size pot. For all of these ingredients, it's tend to be the perfect size. Alright, next step, we're gonna just put all the meat into the pot, just like so. Perfect. So we have our meat in the pot. Let's get into the next ingredient. So in this step, we're gonna be taking care of the beets. So what I usually do, I just chop up the leaves from it, just like so. Clean it up, just like that. Look at that veining there. It's very colorful vegetable. And then I'll just strip it. Just kind of clean it up from the outside. So this is what it looks like. Okay, and then I'm gonna place it in a pot. So this is what it looks like. But there is another, before we put water in here and put it on the stove, there is one more ingredient that I'm putting into the, I usually take one head of the onion, cut it up and put it in there to develop extra flavors in the broth. We'll clear the onion here, so we're just gonna put it inside and fill it up with water. Usually I do 3/4. So now we have our fire going. Let's take a pot and put it on the fire. Just like that. Get it to the boiling point. So the next step would be, we do have, it's kind of getting to the boiling point almost, but we do have this meat residue type of thing. So what I usually do, I just pretty much pick it up. Alright, so after you guys did you know, a couple of rounds of taking all the surface stuff off of the broth, I usually go ahead and put in bay leaves, a little bit of salt, and oregano, and let it simmer. Alright, you guys, next step up, we just wash the potatoes here and clean it up. Alright, so now we're gonna just cut it. So I'm gonna leave one potato the whole. So we open the lid. The broth is developing, really nice. Leave this one whole, put it in, and then that chopped potato pieces, just kind of carefully submerge. Now we close the lid and let it sweat for a little bit longer. After you put in potatoes, you boil them for like around 15 minutes. And then next step would be cabbage. So next step, let's take care of this cabbage over here. So just like that. And then we can go ahead and put it in the soup. After cabbage has been simmering there for about 15 minutes, what I like to do next is to pull out the beets along with that initial onion that we put in for the broth. The whole onion, it's gotta go. Along with our bones. So at this point, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna separate the bone from the meat. Take the bone out and then separate the meat and cut it up and put it back, just the meat. Now we just kind of separate the meat from the bone. It's still hot, so be careful. Okay, so these pieces I usually just kind of pre-cut like that, and then just put them back in. Next step, let's take care of the, I usually do pieces like that. Remember I told you about this piece here? So here's what we're gonna do with this piece. You put it like this, you take a fork and you mush it so it becomes mashed potato. Alright? And then you just put it back into the broth. So that potato will pretty much thicken the broth a little bit. Kind of mix it up. Alright, for the next step, in Russian we call Zarqa, which is we're gonna saute all of this rest of these vegetables in a pan on olive oil. So let's get to it. On medium heat usually, put a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna just lower the heat for right now because I still need to kind of cut the onion here. So pretty much pieces that small. Go ahead and put it in. Also with this we're gonna put some carrots in there. 2 carrots. Also garlic is the next. So next step, we're also gonna take care of the tomatoes. Alright you guys, next step is we're gonna add a little bit of spices into this. Oregano, salt, and pepper. Mix it in. Cover it for a few seconds. I'm sorry. I do have a special ingredient. And by now you should know what it is. Yeah. Oh man, I love pickles. Looks really good here. The last thing we gotta do is add some tomato paste. Mix it all in. Alright, after our sauteed vegetables been simmering here for 7 to 10 minutes, you can kind of see they're ready to go. So I just take it and go ahead and just put it in the main pot, just like that. Mix all of it in. Just crank it up to medium and let it boil up. Let the flavors marinate, and it's pretty much, that's it. It's ready to serve. So let's plate it. Be careful, it's very hot. I'm gonna turn the heat off. Close this thing up. Take care of the chives. Just like that. Sprinkle it all on top. And here you have it. As I told you, you can put sour cream. I usually just keep it simple. Put Fayet 0%. Good for you. Tastes just as good as sour cream. Just put it in there and right on top, just like that. And that's how you eat borscht. This is how your borscht should look like. Alright you guys, this is it. It takes a little bit of time to cook this soup, but I gotta tell you, at the end of the day, it's beautiful. It makes everything worth your time. Very healthy, very delicious. You make it for your husband, wife, girlfriend, whoever. It's gonna be a home run. For your parents, if they're from Eastern Europe, oh my god, this recipe is gonna be the favorite of everybody. It's awesome. So subscribe to my channel. I got some other awesome recipes coming your way. Like it, share it with your friends, and I will see you at the next episode. Peace out guys. I have to eat this. It's delicious.